Looks like you got my invitation.
I want the best experience for this gameplay. I just gotta keep the computer in turbo mode, so it's gonna be a little while. Yeah, that's not gonna change. It has to be loud or it's gonna slow down. So, without further ado, I'm gonna show you my way. Not their way. Show you my way. Do the electric wind god fist. See ya!
Heihachi Mishima. Get ready for the next battle. Fight!
So for about 15 years, I've been trying to master and harness this technique. A lot of times I can get it off on the computer, but I've been recently getting it on like people online too. And it's really useful when you're in the corner. Whenever you're in the corner, you're getting pressure, everybody's beating the shit out you. You just pop one off and you jump out the corner. But it's a certain way to do it, and I'm going to show you today. You don't. It's not a conventional electric one out, because like you do it, but then your goal is to run at least more than halfway under them and then swipe. I'll show you. Let me just turn it off. So you want to start basically with the motion. We're going to practice this motion over and over and over and over again. Hey, you looking at me? You. We're gonna practice. The best part about this game is its practice mode. You have to utilize it in order to really become really good with the character. It's alright to be casual, but it's nice to open up those boundaries to stuff that you haven't seen yet. So, we're going to start with the movement. Our goal is to tap forward. Tap, 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 tap. I want you to go all the way to the wall. Tap, tap, tap. You should be able to follow along with me. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing too ridiculous. But we're going to master this. By the end of this video, you should be doing my technique and doing quite well. So, next thing we're going to do, we're going to hold down forward. So, hold it a bit, see him walk a bit, just so you get the timing, just to see him take that step. You want to remember this for a very specific reason. The Mishimas move in like a just frame style. Like a lot of people play this game in tournaments, but I don't like tournaments. I want to go to one eventually, but I work. Yeah, there's no other simple way to say it. I work. I don't got time. So playing online is my only way of getting as close to a tournament as possible. Eventually I'll get there. I hope you're doing this. Just coaching you through it. We're gonna go all the way to the wall. If you cheat this process, you're not gonna learn this technique. I literally practiced this shit until my finger was damn near just sore. I'm talking about, like, I still got the callus from it. It's a lot going on when it comes to this move. You could do a lot. Now that we got that second part out the way, we're gonna move on to the next step. We're going to wave dash cancel. You wave dash and you cancel. The faster you get this, the more precise you'll be with your wave dash. You're tapping forward, down forward, and then back. So it's basically the same exact motion that I just showed you, except you're adding back now. You got forward, down forward, and then back. We're gonna go all the way to the wall with it. You want to cancel it before he swipes in. That's the point. You want to be able to bait your opponent. These techniques that you're going to learn from me today, you're going to be able to take out into the online and somebody up. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm going to show you what I be doing to people. So, the next one, now we're going to practice all of the wave dash techniques, one by one, and you're going to make sure you're going to get the best iteration of it. Or you start over. That's one. That's two. That's three. That's four. Now the slow versions is corny. You know what I mean? You can get punished for a lot of these. You can get punished for a lot of these. But they changed it to where the health sweep doesn't stagger anymore. You still get punished on that first hit. I ain't got no rap. You still get hit on that first hit. They block that first hit, you pretty messed up for real. But when it comes to the wave dash, your goal is to move in and out of your opponent's movement. When your opponent is constantly backing up and backdashing and sidestepping, all you gotta do is just close the barrier. I've done it. You could be on the wall, it doesn't matter where you're at. Like, you can literally just be on the wall or anything. Like, everything when it comes to this game is about movement. And the Mishimas, they just excel at that. They've changed it to where every other character has like their own shit, but when it comes to the movement with the Mishimas, they just flow with it. Your goal is to get to this point when you're just wave dashing all the way to the point where you get to the wall. Then the next step comes. We're going to backdash cancel and then got this. You get it. We're gonna do this 3 times. And then got this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see how I'm messing it up, right? This is the practice that I'm talking about. But eventually, when you take my technique, so why would you use this technique? The backdash guy says, oh, when somebody's just missing shit and you got your spacing on, you backdash into a guy. Oh, they wasn't expecting that, right? It's not the sidestep guy. Sidestepping, if you haven't noticed, gets you closer to the opponent. Like if I start off way back here, right? This is what I've noticed about sidestepping. Sidestepping is cool, but it puts you at a position where you're closer to your opponent. Like if I keep moving around this circle, you'll notice I'll be closing the barrier. So in turn, that means that every time that you sidestep or sidewalk, you're essentially getting closer to the opponent. So every situation you can't just sidestep Godfist out of. And that's what you have to remember. This technique is universal. You want to be able to throw that shit in the middle of a backdash cancel, or throw it like just whenever you want. Like you can back up and Godfist. You know what I'm saying? Or backdash cancel and Godfist. 1, 2, 3. But you'll have your technique down to where you know at any one of those backdashes you can let go of that joint and it's ready. You know what I'm saying? Now, the next thing we're gonna work on is the Godfist run under technique. We're gonna just call that the swipe under. That's what we'll do. So you Godfist and then you run under them. Now there's 2 ways to do this. 3 ways actually. There's the right way, there's the lazy way, and then there's the you're an asshole way. You're an asshole way. You gotta do it quite quick, and you just turn your back on it. The right way, you get turned like this. The lazy way, you hold it the whole time. But that puts you at a disadvantage if you take too long. This technique is built based upon speed. The Mishima's God Fist, all of that shit is based on speed. If you're not fast enough, the technique's not going to be fast enough. You have to literally be as fast as you need it to be. That's why I want you to practice all your techniques all at once, and then proceed with going into the God Fist. Now, for this next part, we're going to God Fist, run under, and then God Fist, run under. I know it sounds hard, I know it sounds complicated, but I'm going to break it down. When you run under them, if you notice, you could just run straight under the opponent. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to do that because that leaves your back turned sometimes. You don't want to do that. You want your movements to dictate where you're going to be at on the field. And when you do the God Fist, or even his 4-4-2, when you do his 4-4-2, you can definitely run under it still. Hold on, I'm just doing it wrong. The time's a little bit more strict on this one, but you could do it. I've already done it. I'm gonna edit this shit out. That should make me mad. Because you can run straight under them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you get more than halfway, that's when you do it, because if you do it before that, he just wave dashes into them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get under them and then swipe. That's where the technique comes in. That's why I want you to back dash cancel into your God Fist, because then you'll learn that swipe motion is most needed in this technique. Like without it, it's nothing. It's all powered by the wind, if that makes sense. Like your swipe is that power that you're putting out. Every button controls a limb. So when it comes to this button, when you do a regular uppercut, it's just regular. But when you do like the mechanics of the move, the faster you do it, the faster the technique comes out. What I like to do, because I like using it on the D-pad, I like pushing forward and then tapping right in the middle of where these are, and then I just swipe it. So real quick. But a lot of time when you're under pressure, you can't swipe it like that. This is where the down forward technique comes in at. Like once you learn down back, and down forward, the game changes again. It's not just tapping down when your opponent's about to do something. Like you have to know the difference between holding down, tapping down, because if you release the block before an attack comes, you're still gonna get hit. You have to know how to block properly. You have to know how to move properly. That's all within just here. So the reason why you use this technique is if you're in like the corner, let's say like you're in the corner, right? Let's say you're in a corner, right? If your opponent's beating the shit out of you, you can use this technique and then run under them. But if you do it wrong, you'll get the back turn. So you gotta make sure you get at least halfway. You can do it with the regular God Fist, but your best bet is to do this like the right way the first time. It'll mess you up if you're doing it wrong. Because if you get the wrong result, you're not going to use it the right way in combat. But this technique is pretty useful in the corner. Because I'm talking so much, I'm sitting here and forgetting my timing. If you notice, like I said, you can run straight under them. There's nothing to do that. But like I said, you could use this technique in the corner, and your opponent's not expecting something like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you do something like this and you run under them. Now they're in the corner. They're at a really big disadvantage now. Do you get what I'm saying? Even if they tech roll, like they're at still a big disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want you to wave dash, because when you wave dash, you're still locked in on your opponent. When you run under him, he kind of loses track of him, if that makes sense. But when you wave dash, you automatically realign with him. So the next part is going to be when you're practicing the Wavedash cancels into another Wavedash cancel. You want to get this to get your bait out. Like when you about to run in on somebody, listen, you will walk them down. You gotta get this technique right. If you can't get your cancels on, you can't block during this stance. During this stance, you could duck high all day. I'm talking about I've ducked in and out of a combo. Like a combo shot. I wave dashed into that shit and got through all of that and still hit him. This technique is pretty insane. And if you get the right technique set up, you can get some pretty interesting results out of it. Oh, wow, I keep messing this up while y'all are watching me. I guess while I'm being watched, I can't do it. There you go. Try to keep your movements as stiff as possible too. You don't want to like wiggle it too much. You want to be very precise when you do it. Otherwise, like I said, you'll get the other angle. And like I said, you'll be off. You don't want that. You want the perfect one where you actually hit them and go under them, but you succeed in going to the other side. Like I said, there's a lazy way, there's a right way, and then there's the asshole way. The asshole way, you just do it, and your back is just turned. The right way, you succeed on the other side. The lazy way, you're holding that direction down no matter what, so that your back gets returned. But like I said, it's lazy. You're not going to be ready for that type of result if you're not doing the technique right. So you want to get the right one the first time. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things with this game too, they don't really have defense. Heihachi's built based on defense. He's got his punch parry. He's got the power crush, obviously. He's got the cancels into the mid high crush, power crush. Listen, all of this stuff is great, right? But what if you get trapped on the corner? You know what I'm saying? You get trapped in that corner, none of that big shit really mean nothing because you got to push them all the way to the other side. But what if there was a way to switch it without trying to grab him and risking your fucking health bar? Here you go. Not only can this character do it, but let me show you. Other characters can do it as well. So, like I said, there's a gap right in between doing the God fist and running under it. You want to slip right under that. When you first God fist and they shoot up to the top of the air, as soon as they get to the top, that's when you can run. Haul ass. Get to the at least past the middle and then swipe. It sounds confusing, I know, but if you go all the way back to the beginning and you practice all these techniques, I promise you.
Get ready for the next
all of this
battle.
shit will change. Alright, so like I said, you could do this with every character. Not every character, just ones with emotion. And the setup here is ridiculous. Like literally each character got their own little setup they could do out of this. And it's pretty scary what they can get away with. Like once they put you down in the air or anything. So yeah, like I said, there's a right way and then there's a wrong. And each character got their own god. So it's like, once you learn that technique, you gotta learn that motion too, and when to use it, how to use it, and how to apply it. Now he can't do this with every technique, but I know he can do it with that one. Also, when it comes to each character, they got their own little. You see, because he's a little bit faster, he can actually get some crazy shit off of when you can even get back up. This is where technique just became like super dangerous to me. Like in the corner, kazuya is just deadly. It doesn't matter which side you're on. You know what I'm saying? You get in the corner, I mean, of course you do a wall run. Of course. But wouldn't it be greater if you could just put the opponent on the other side? Not only are you putting them on the other side, but you have ways to keep them down there now. When it comes to Mishima, like I said, everything's based on speed. So a lot of times you'll get into corner situations and you don't really know what to do. Like I said, you can just use a move that knocks him into the air and you can just run right under him. Like literally, it takes nothing to just run right under him. And like I said, these techniques haven't been used before. This is something completely different from what we're used to. Somebody do this at a tournament, oh man, it'll shock everybody. Like, holy shit, where'd you learn that from? Literally, I'm trying to change the game what it is right now. I don't know what they're doing as far as defense and all that buffering shit, but I know for sure a lot of the cast can get away with doing this. I'm pretty sure Harangue and Kane can get this off too. So I guess I'm going to this video just saying, you know, it takes practice. The last actual thing I can say is practice is when it comes to the Mishimas, you want to literally practice that Wavedash. That is your best friend. The faster you get that off, the better you are. The better you're gonna be. The better you're gonna be with the Mishimas. Like just learn how to just stance cancel into the Wavedash. Like just to bait your opponent. Like think if you're this far, right? The match is getting tense. You don't want to throw that jab. You don't want to throw that god fist. No. You're going to throw that random ass Wavedash. You're like, oh shit, he about to do something. Oh, he didn't do it. Oh. And then bow, you smack the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? Stay vigilant.